Good afternoon, all. My name is Nisha Panchal, and on behalf of Parul Institute of Engineering and Technology, CSE Department, I would like to welcome all of the viewers. Today's our speaker is Himanshi Mishra. She is going to conduct a webinar on industrial IoT using Python. She has been working in the tech industries since last 4 years. And now I would like to invite Himanshi Mishra to start the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon, students. Myself, Himisha Mistry, and today we'll conduct a webinar on industrial IoT with Python. Okay, so I've been working in this firm since last 4 years as a developer. Our company used to manufacture and supply various industrial sensors like proximity sensors, wireless sensors, moisture analyzer, melt pressure sensors. So if you are familiar in this field, so you must be knowing. Apart from this, we provide industrial training on various technologies like Java, Python, machine learning, Spring Boot, PHP. Okay, so now I suppose what is Python? So basically, today in this webinar, we'll conclude first basic Python, what is Python, introduction to Python, and then after that we'll study about a controller. Name is Raspberry Pi, and after that we'll look towards IoT. So basically, what is the Python? See, there are many programming languages available like Java, C++, PHP, .NET. I suppose you people must have studied about all these technologies, and you must have heard about Python also. Python is a very familiar word in this technology world, and it is very simple language. That's the basic introduction that I want to give you. A very simple, basic language. Now, apart from programming language, it is also known as scripting language. So what's the difference between this two both that I'll explain? Programming language is simple as whatever we code. Coding is simple, is same as programming. And what is scripting language? See, computer doesn't understand human language. Okay, so what is the role of compiler or what is the role of interpreter? It interprets human language and translate it into machine language. Okay, so here scripting language, it plays a role. It directly interprets our human language and interprets into machine language, and it will directly give us output. In further slide, we will see this, but this is the basic thing. Apart from this, it was developed by Guido van Rossum at the National Research Institute for Mathematics and Computer Science in Netherlands. Okay, now the initial version was published at Altsources News Group in 1991. Python 2.0 was released in 2000, and after that 2.x means 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. Apart from this, all these versions started releasing after that. Python 2 and Python 3, both these versions are very similar. But now, latest we are using Python 3.8.1. This is the latest version we are using. Now Python is still maintained by its core development team at the institution. This was the basic introduction about Python. Now the basic question comes here. Why we have to choose Python? There are many programming languages available in the market. Okay, so what is the reason why we should choose this language? First reason, it's a very simple language. It's a clear structure, and it is very easy to understand the language. At the same time, it's very easy to read the language. See, this is the basic thing. Basic program, a Hello World program, is written in 4 different languages. First is in Python. You just have to write one single statement, that is print Hello World, and the output will be Hello World. So this was in Python. Now you compare this statement with 3 languages, C, C++, and Java. You'll see the number of lines which we use for coding is much more than which is used in Python. So here only it states that this language is very easy in comparison to other language. In C, what you have done, you have used this library, then you have used this printf statement. Apart from this, you have used all these functions also. Int function, inside int function, you have written print hello. You have to take care of the semicolon. If there won't be semicolon, then it will give you error. So in this comparison, Python doesn't have all this thing. You don't need to worry about semicolon. You don't need to worry about cursor. You don't need to worry about brackets. Simple thing. You just need to write print and hello world. So this is the most basic reason why we choose Python. Okay, and again, Python works on different platform. It will work easily on Windows, Mac, Linux, Raspberry Pi, and Raspberry Pi is very feasible with this language Python. Further slides we will see how we will use it. Okay, now next, Python is interpreted. In my first slide only, I told you about scripting language. Okay, so again I'll repeat it. See, many languages which are compiled means you have to convert it into machine language. After converting into machine language, then only it will show you output. In other languages like Java, C++, what you have to do, if you must have, I think you must be knowing all this thing. When you write a program in C program, like you write the program, then you save it, then you compile it. Once it is compiled, if it is any error, it will show you error. But if there is no error, it won't show you, and then you have to run it. Okay, this is the step for C, C++, and Java. And then you have to run it, and then it will show you output. That is the basic things which you were doing in C, C++, Java programming. But in Python, you don't have to do that. You just have to run the program. Interpreter will do its work, and it will show you output. So here, what is the main thing which we are saving? What we are saying, we are saving our time. Okay, it won't take time. We have to compile and then it will show us output. That is not the thing over here. It will directly give us output. So my second point is Python is interpreted. See, here is the slide. Okay, see in C, again I'll repeat it. See what we have done. We have what we used to compile it, then it will convert into object code. Object code means that code which is understood by laptop. Okay, laptop will be easily, I guess computers, right? Sorry. Now next is again about Java source code. You see it's compiled. Again bytecode, it will be converted into JVM and then object code, and then it will give you output. So this was in C and Java. But when you talk about Python, it's simple. Here is the source code. Here it will interpret it and it will give you output. So this is also one of the reason why we choose Python. It is interpreted. Now next is Python is popular. Yes, it's very much popular in today's time. Whenever you search on internet, whether you search it on Google or anywhere, if you search top 5 technologies that is used, Python will be number 1. It is that much popular and it is that much used all over the world. Here I have given you, I will show you some of the points. It has been used over the last few years. Last few years, it has been used very much. Now, the Stack Overflow Developer Survey in 2018, it has ranked Python as 7 most popular. World-class developing country like USA, UK, Russia, they are using Python in every single day. In every programming thing, they are using Python. Again, due to its popularity and its widespread use of Python as a programming language, again, Python developers, they are sought to paid very well because it is very popular and it is upcoming technology. Python is used in every field. If you talk about industry, it is also used very much in industry. In our institute, we have developed many IoT application using Python. See, you can see the graph over here, survey rates of languages. The most searched language and the most popular language is Python. followed by Java, JavaScript, C Sharp. So whenever you search it, wherever you search it, whatever Python is there, and Python will be most popular language. Okay. Now, it is used by world leaders. Again, over here, world leaders doesn't mean USA, UK. Okay. It is used by main IT companies like Google, Dropbox, Spotify, Instagram. They have used it in developing their software. Python is used over here. Apart from this, many graphics and gaming companies have also started using Python. If you talk about such companies like NASA, Electronic Arts, Disney, they have all used this world. They have all used this language, and they have developed some very good applications using this language. Extensive support libraries. Now this is very important thing about Python, and it's very good. I think it's the best thing about Python. So what is the meaning of library? For a student, library means a collection of book where they will get a book related to the topics they want. Okay, if they'll go to library, they'll search a book. If they get it, and their task gets easy, right? That's this is the definition of library. The same thing applies here. Whenever you start coding Python, and if you have some support libraries, suppose you want to develop an application for image processing, there are libraries available for this. Suppose you want to develop an application related to scientific computing, there are libraries available over here. So these libraries, what they do, they make the task very easy. The length of the program will be reduced because we are using such libraries, and the task will get easy. And to develop this application, the time period will again be less. So this is also one of the best possible reason why people choose Python. There are many libraries support. For example, Python provides a large standard library which includes area like internet protocols, string operations, web services tools, operating system interfaces, image processing. Again, I've told and again repeat it. Many high-use programming tasks have already been scripted into standard library, which reduces length of code to be written significantly. This means the meaning of this is that libraries, they itself do the work of coding. So when we use this library, the work will be done very easily. We don't have to write more lines of code. Just include that library and your work will be done. I'll just give you a simple example about dealing. You must have used, I don't know whether your student must be knowing or that, but in Java, basically when we develop application, we give some delay. So we write the program for delay time for and so we used to write. But in Python, what we do, we just include library. From time, import sleep. That is the library name. And in program, we just write a single statement, that is sleep. Sleep 5 milliseconds, 5 seconds, 5 minutes. That's the only thing. So the length of code, the number of lines used for coding is totally reduced. Now next, see, these are the various libraries used. See, I told you before also GUI. For developing desktop application, we use library that is Tincter. Tincter is very, what we can say, it's very easy. It's very user-friendly library that we can use to develop an application. Now, web framework. For developing web-based application, we have one library that is Django. It's a very familiar name used nowadays. For any web-based, we have used this library to develop our web-based application for IoT devices. If you are very much interested in developing games, again, Python has given us opportunity to do that. And using Pygame, that is a library used in Python for developing games. Now, if you want data visualization is plotting of graphs and like this thing. So if you want to see that, we have used this library that is data visualization, matplotlib. If you use this library, you can use easily draw a graph, a graphical representation of your data can be easily viewed using this library. Next is NumPy. NumPy is used for scientific computing. NLTK, it is used for natural language processing. Now, what is natural language processing? See, in iPhone, there is a very common thing that is Siri. Okay, the Siri is very famous. If we say hi Siri, so Siri will reply us, hello, how can I help you? Then we say, Siri, can you please find so and so thing? So it will find us and it will give us the feedback. Okay, that is very much familiar. Apart from this, there are many applications. Even now, Google have started this. Okay, so it will give you the answer. So what is this? This is natural language processing. It is used for communication. It is used to translate the communication between human being and machine. So that type of applications can also be easily developed using Python. Now next is molecular biology, that is BioPython library. Again, this is very much into DNA, RNA, microbiology, sort of these things. We use this library, that is BioPython. Now, there are many applications of Python available in market. So first is GUI based desktop application. Here I have listed some of the applications. If you want, you can note down the names of this application and you can search it afterwards. So now GUI based application, because of very simple syntax, I told you before also, Tincter is used to develop GUI based application, and Tincter is a very user friendly language, I can say, and using that language we can easily develop desktop application. Apart from Tincter, there are many toolkits other also available, that is VX Python, PyQt, PyGTK. These are all available for developers to develop very high functional graphical user interface applications. So there are various applications developed using Python. For example, this for GUI based desktop application. Image processing and graphic design application. See, nowadays this image processing and graphic designing applications are also very much in demand. See, we have used this image processing application everywhere. When you go to when we talk about this street traffic lights, right? They have placed this camera, and what they do, they track your number plate, and reading that using that number plate, they used to send you challan, whatever fine they used to send. So this type of applications can be developed using Python. We have developed it, our company has developed it. Next is graphic design application. So nowadays this trend of animations and animation games are very much, children used to love these games and all this thing. So this type of applications can also be developed using Python. So students, can you imagine, the future of this language is very bright.
Sorry, madam, sorry to interrupt, but your voice is very lagging.
Okay, now it is coming properly. Sorry, ma'am, it is coming properly.
Yes.
Now it's coming properly, no? Sorry, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, continue.
Okay. Okay, so now what we were up to this image processing and graphic design applications. So nowadays animation is very much into this field. Students and children usually like graphic games and all this thing. So such type of applications can also be developed using Python. See, I've listed down some of the softwares which can be used for imaging software, that is Inkscape, GIMP, PaintShop Pro, Scribus. See, if you must be knowing about Corel Draw. I think some of you must be knowing. Similar to Corel Draw, this type of applications have also been developed in Python. Again, if you want to think about animation packages, if you want to do animation sort of things, then applications like Blender, 3ds Max, Cinema 4D, Houdini, Lightwave, Maya, this all have been developed using Python. Next is scientific and computational application. See, nowadays this modeling software like AutoCAD is very much into demand. AutoCAD is very much into demand. So these students, they they are in Python. Applications such as FreeCAD is developed using Python. So you can develop such applications in Python. AutoCAD, I guess it must be it's used in architectural designing. It's used in mechanical designing. So you can use this in. So you can develop such applications using Python. See, the higher speeds, productivity, and availability of tools such as scientific Python and numeric Python have resulted in Python becoming an integral part of applications involved in computational and processing of scientific data. 3D software such as AutoCAD and finite element method software such as Abisquis are coded in Python. Now games. This is very much, I think this is the favorite thing which a student like, games. They are very much into gaming and everything. So again, it's a very good news for you students. Games can be also be developed using Python. Python, you can use Python to develop games. So there are many games developed using Python. So I'll read it out. That is Civilization 4, Disney Toon Online, Vegas Strike, World of Tanks, Battlefield, Pirates of the Caribbean Online, etc. All these games have been developed using Python. Python has various modules, libraries, platforms that support development of game. So yeah, in gaming also, it's very much used. So you can see Python is used in each and every field. Wherever field it is available, Python has developed its way. Next is to develop web-based application. Web-based application have also been developed using Python. So Python has been used to create a variety of web frameworks, including CherryPy, Django, TurboGears, Bottle, Flex, etc. Various web-based applications have also, you can develop various web-based application using this framework. Now, what is the work of framework? Framework, using that framework, we can develop our work. We can develop what we want to use. See, what if, for example, you are using for Java, you're using NetBeans. So using NetBeans, you're writing your code. Used to write your code in that particular software, and then when you run it, and then when you run the program in that particular software, it will give you output. So same thing is for web framework also. Similar, we can say what we do. We use that framework to develop what we want, to develop a web-based application. So this Django, CherryPy, TurboGears, Bottleflex, etc. This all things are very much used. Among them, Django is very famous. It is used to develop web-based application. Now, this framework, there are many advantages of using this framework. What does framework provide? This framework provides standard libraries and module which simplify tasks related to content management, interaction with database, interfacing with different internet protocol like HTTP, SMTP, XML, RCP, FTP, POP. So when you develop web-based application, you need to keep these things very much in mind, whether it is feasible using with internet protocols, because if it is feasible, then only your web-based application will run, otherwise it won't run. So there are various examples of this like Plone, ERP5, Google App Engines. These are the various examples. Now the Google App Engine, it's itself a very familiar word for you. And you can see you have already used this application, Google Web Engine. You always used to use it in your daily life. So you can see, you can easily get the result. And that thing itself is developed using Python. Business applications. So there are many business applications are also developed. See, in business, we have to take care of day-to-day activities. We need to take care of accounting, financing, we have to take care about the staff. Everything we need to take care about. So such applications are also developed in Python. ERP and e-commerce system. So this all, it will take care about everything. staff salaries, finance, accounting. Odoo is an all-in-one. So here is one of the example I've listed, that is Odoo and Triton. So Odoo is an all-in-one management software that offers a range of business application that forms a complete suite of enterprise management application. And Triton is a three-tier high-level general purpose application soft platform. So this is business application, and the most important thing that we are going to discuss today is IoT, Internet of Things software development. This Python is very much feasible. It's very much interactive when we create IoT application. Python is often used as a support language for software developers, for build controls and management, testing, and in many another way. So there are so now this was the basic introduction regarding Python. So what I have concluded is that Python is a very simple language. It's a very simple programming language, I can say, and it's a very famous and popular language. Again, it is used in each and every field. Where there is an opportunity, you can create a very good application using Python. Now, next is IoT, Internet of Things. But before starting that, I want to introduce to one controller, that is Raspberry Pi. So what we can say about Raspberry Pi? It's like a mini computer. Okay, if we, today in it's like mini computer with inbuilt memory. You can see in my screen I've listed the RAM it consists of, CPU, 256 MB RAM. Now the latest model consists of 1.4 gigahertz CPU and 1 GB RAM. So have you imagined, this is a mini computer. It's work like computer only. Here we need to use a software, that is Linux. We use Linux operating software. If you see the cursor on the screen, this all are GPIO pins. This all are GPIO pin. 20 GPIO pin is there in Raspberry Pi, and using this pin we will connect our sensors. This thing is not available in our modern computers. Like a laptop, we can't connect sensors, right? So this is giving us opportunity to connect our sensors and create a very feasible industrial IoT application. So this is HDMI. Through HDMI cable, we will connect it to computer, and we will run it using a TeamViewer software. So this is the basic introduction. See, Raspberry Pi is the name of series of single board computers made by Raspberry Pi Foundation. It is launched in 2012, and after that there are many various iterations available in market. The first original Pi, it has a single core of 700 megahertz CPU and just 256 MB RAM. But now the latest version has a quad core processor, quad core 1.4 gigahertz CPU and 1 GB RAM. So can you imagine? So it's a very, and if you want to know the price, the latest version, I guess it's costing you around $30 to $35. So no, it's very cheap in comparison to a laptop, right? If you want to develop some application, industrial application using IoT, you can easily buy this Raspberry Pi and you can develop it. And one of the best, it's a major advantage of using Raspberry Pi is that you can easily connect your sensors, your hardware devices using GPIO pin, and now your application will be developed. So the controller, Raspberry Pi is the most common controller used for developing IoT application. No doubt, we use other hardware applications like Arduino, Node MCU, but Raspberry Pi is considered more often. But it is better than this Node MCU and Arduino. All over the world, people use Raspberry Pi to learn programming skill, build hardware projects, do home automation, and even use them in industrial application. Now, this home automation word is very common. I guess everybody must be knowing what is home automation. If I take my phone, I open an Android application. If I want to switch on a light in my room, so I'll just click on the option on and the lights get on. So how this is possible? This is IoT. This is possible using controllers like Raspberry Pi. And in industrial application, there are many vast applications that I will show you in further slides. So now, see, can you, you'll see in the screen, my cursor is moving. See, these are all the GPIO pins. So I've only connected one LED and one resistor. So using this, you can connect the sensors like vibration sensors, motion analyzer sensors, proximity sensors. So there are various sensors available. We can connect it to this and we can get the achieve or desired result, whatever we want. So this is the basically breadboard, but this is the exact thing which we will be doing. GPIO pins will be connected to sensors. The Raspberry Pi is a very cheap computer that runs Linux, but it also provides a set of GPIO, that is general purpose input-output pins, that allows you to control electronic components for physical computing and explore the Internet of Things. So this was the basic controller that we will be using. Nowadays, Raspberry Pi is very much in the demand. If you want to buy it, I guess according to Indian rupees, it will cost you around 4,000 to 45000. Maybe less than that. So you can get this and you can start programming. If you want, you can connect your GPIO with normal LED. You can on and off your LED. Simple programming you can start, and after that you can carry on. You can look at the tutorials on Google and you can definitely do the programming. So it's very simple, it's very cheap, it's very easy to develop in IoT applications using Raspberry Pi. And now next is IoT. Now industrial revolution, that is the what we can say that has changed our lives so far. Imagine if you were in 1800. Imagine what would be your life, and imagine in today's generation what would be your life. So now the first industrial revolution that took place in 1784, the first mechanical loop started using water and steam power. Oh, okay, so there basically human power was mostly used during first industrial revolution. Second industrial revolution came in 80, 70, 1900. And Ford was the first company to introduce the assembly line. Assembly line makes the work very easy. It moves you towards mass production. Number of laborers will be decreased, and mass production with the help of electrical energy. So this was introduced by Ford, and second industrial revolution came with this, using assembly line. Third industrial revolution came around 1969 using controllers, PLC, Modicon, Arduino, Node MCU. So all these controllers came into use during third industrial revolution, and it was in 1969. Imagine 50, 60, 70 years before it all started, through using electronics and IT system. And the fourth industrial revolution came around 2000. Around 2000, and what it started using, it started connecting the controller to internet, and using internet we can get all the data. I'll just give you a normal simple example regarding your home in IoT. See, in everybody's house there must be water tank, and water tank, see, we are in this tank we need to save water, so there should be no wastage of water. So when you on the motor to fill the tank, so you always keep constantly thinking, okay, after 5 minutes, I have to off the tank. After 10 minutes, I have to off the tank. Oh, the time has come, I have to off the tank. I have to off the switch so that the tank water doesn't overflow. So here, IoT plays a very important role. What we can do, we can make a very simple application. What we will do, we will connect a level sensor in water tank, and when a particular level reaches, it will give you a notification on your phone. The water has been filled, please switch off the switch. So this is the thing. So this is a simple IoT application which we has used. And like this application, there are various same example using same concept. We can use various IoT applications. We can develop various IoT applications in industry. So now next is various IoT industrial IoT applications that can be developed. That is energy management, production management, predictive management, maintenance, warehouse management, smart manufacturing, visitor management system, healthcare management, hospitality management, quality management. So now I'll show you the example of IoT energy management in further slides. These are the various IoT applications. Now, what is the structure for industrial IoT? See, I've already given you example of this water level tank. I've already given you example. So what is that? If you'll see the cursor on the screen, this is the controller. Controller, we can say, suppose our Raspberry Pi. So what will do, Raspberry Pi will be connected to the sensors. It can be vibration sensor, it can be motion sensor, it can be proximity sensor, temperature level sensor. Various sensor will be connected to controller. And now what is the task of controller? Controller will send the data to cloud. It's an imaginary storehouse, data house. It's like storehouse where we will be storing our data. So it will send data on the cloud. And after that, if data is sent on the cloud, and we can see on our premises, on or off premises means we can see the development on a Android application or on a laptop. Will get the data. Okay, now the reading of vibration meter is 78.6. So I'll get the okay at 2 o'clock the reading was this. At 3 o'clock, the reading was this. So this is the basic structure of industrial IoT. The controller plays a very important part. Raspberry Pi is the most feasible controller. If you want, you can use an Arduino, Node MCU. Node MCU has inbuilt Wi-Fi, so it will be easily connected to the Wi-Fi. If you're using Arduino, then you have to use the Wi-Fi chip, and then you have to connect to internet. Raspberry Pi will send data connect to cloud using internet. So I've told you in our previous slides that Python is very feasible with all this thing. So it will easily send data. It is very feasible using this HTTP protocols and everything. So it will easily send you data on the cloud, and from cloud you can fetch the data on your mobile phone, on your Android applications, on your iOS applications, on laptop, and you can clearly get the data. So you don't have to go to the field and check what is happening. Okay, now at 12 o'clock I have to visit the site and I have to check whether what is the reading. So you don't have to do that. You just check it on your phone, and the task is so simple. So here, what is the advantage? Or you don't have to go visit there. The task is that you can easily watch whatever. You can easily see the readings or data on your screen. Now, with the images which I am showing, these are the applications developed by tech industry. This is the framework. This is the application developed by tech industry. This application is made for TVS in Jhagadia. The plant is that we have developed this TVS. We have developed this application for TVS. I have told you energy management. Okay, so how it is used for energy management? Now, what we have done? Suppose if I want to check whether a particular machine, what is the consumption of energy, how much current, what is the power factor, what is voltage of the particular plant. I can say what's the for particular plant. So this is the dashboard. This is the front screen. Whenever I open the application, this is the front screen, and in this dashboard it will give you, okay, this is the last 30 days energy consumption. This is the voltage for whole plant. Suppose I want to figure it out for a particular machine. So this is live monitoring for machines, machine 1, machine 2, machine 3, machine 4. So this is the live monitoring. This is for the whole plant. Now next is from day to day. Suppose I want to see the graphical representation of all these things. So I can see, okay, day 1, this is the kilowatt of energy, column this much consumed. So this is the thing, LPG consumption from day. Suppose if I'll fill the date from year to year, so it will show me the graph, the visualization, graphical visualization. So these applications have been developed using IoT. See what we have done. We have connected a sensor in machine to check the consumption of energy, and what it has done, it has sent the data to cloud, and from cloud we are fetching the data and we are just showing you. So for the task for a manager or a supervisor will be very easy. They don't need to go to a plant and check it. They just have to open a screen and they'll get all the data. Even a head level manager or a owner of the company can also see the data. So task here becomes so easy. You can always check. Before in IoT, such things were not there. They need to be physically present. They need to check it whether it is present or not, and then they have to come and they have to give the data. They have to give all the details. But for now, this is not the case. This was for energy management. Now is for production and maintenance. See, this department is very important in a big plant. Suppose if I talk about Ford, okay, now what is this BFO line, 8 nozzle, 6, these are the machine names. And suppose I click on the BFO line, this it will show me this page. Now hour by hour schedule, it will show me the actual production. This is the schedule. Okay, 1 hour, this much should be the production. What is the actual, it will give us the time. Okay, in 1 hour, this amount, 7,000, 8,000 amount of production should be done. But in comparison, only 7,000 amount will be done. Difference, loss in types, shift efficiency. So all these things can be easily noted down, can be easily done in this application using IoT. Suppose this is for the cell, this is for current shift plan, previous shift plan, current shift plan. So if a manager, they just need to open this application and they just need to check it, whether what is the current shift plan, what was the previous shift plan, difference is what is coming. So this is for maintenance and production. Because if a maintenance and production, when a company is running in profit, when they have reached a particular production estimation cost, not cost, what we can say, a level of production, there should be some level of production. If they are manufacturing, if they are producing only 7,000 and in comparison to 1 lakh, so that is a loss for them. So they need to keep all these things in mind. Okay, in day one, in particular there should be 7,000 to 8,000 of particular device should be, a particular cell should be manufactured. If it is not manufactured, they are in loss, because they need to see the electricity. They are paying something, they are paying money for electricity, they are paying money for power. So in particular amount on a particular time, they should manufacture all these things. So they need to take care of all these things. For that, we have devised, or we have made such applications. Now next is for windmill application. This also we have developed it. Suppose a windmill application. Windmill is used for generating electricity. I think this is clear with you. Suppose I want to check what is the temperature of generator, what is the generator RPM, what is the oil pressure, gearbox oil pressure, what is rotor's RPM. So I don't need to go to upstairs, like windmill has this staircase and we need to climb, and the engineer, those who are assigned, they'll go up and they'll check. We don't need to do that now. We just have install a sensors using controller connected to internet, and then they will give us the value. And here in this particular screen, the values are displayed. So all such type of applications can be developed using IoT. So windmill application, production and maintenance application, energy efficiency application. We have moisture analyzer application. Moisture analyzer is a device to check a particular moisture in a food product. Okay, food product, when I think you people must be eating those chips and packet foods. In packet foods, there should be some amount of moisture present. If moisture is not present, it won't be like hygienic to eat. So there should be some amount of moisture present. For to check that level of pressure, we are using this moisture analyzer sensor. So now what we do, we'll connect this sensor with the controller and it will give us reading continuously. So the owner or the manager, they will only check the reading. Okay, perfect reading is coming, so our product is hygienic to it and we can easily deliver our products to customer. So various applications can be developed. So there are many advantages of using industrial IoT. The very important, I can say, that is less human dependency. See, nowadays, many people are facing this issue, so if there will be less human dependency, and if we are totally dependent on machine, so our work will be easily done. Because previously what we used to happen, if we want to produce, I'll give you example about production line only. Suppose we want a certain amount of production should be done, and if we are dependent on human, Suppose that human, they are absent or they are not willing to come or they're on some strike, so the company will be totally in loss, so that we can't take the risk, right? But now using this IoT application, this thing is totally solved. If we are totally dependent on machines, so we don't require any human power, and there will be no loss. Again, the next thing that is very advantage, that is all data is saved to cloud. So there is no, the data is not saved on some local database or something like that. It is saved on cloud, and a particular person assigned to see the data can see the data. A particular person assigned to check whether the data are coming properly or not on cloud, they can check it. So there is no there is no such thing the data will be lost or something like that. Easily analysis through online and offline analysis software. Timely report generation. I told you before also. Okay, suppose if I want to check, if I'm a manager of a particular company, and if I want to check whether readings are coming properly or not, I will just open the software and I'll check it. And suppose if you are given something like, okay, if the reading goes below such so and so level, and it's not good for the product, then it will send a, we can program it in such a way that it will send SMS alertation or email alerts to the designated person. Then they will easily get the things. Okay, things are not working properly, we need to go and check it. So here the loss thing will be very less. SMS and alerts for productive maintenance as machine deteriorates above alerted level. I told you, lot of data can be saved online and offline. Again, the Python is very much visible with machine learning and AI. So using this algorithms of machine learning, we can further take our IoT application to one more level up, and we can use it for predicting the things and everything, such things like that. There will be zero downtime with predictive maintenance. Energy saving and time saving, that's the most important thing nowadays. If we save our time, then we can use that time in doing other productive things, and we can go ahead. Actual maintenance and saves money. So these were the advantages of industrial IoT. Applications we have already discussed before also. Cement industries, we can use flow meter sensors. Chemical industry also flow meter sensor. Automotive industry, tire industry, medical industry, steel industry, we can use moisture analyzer. Mineral industry also we can use moisture analyzer. Textile industry we can use flow meter, pressure sensor. Paper industry we can use pressure sensor, melt pressure sensor. So all these sensors, when get connected with the controller, we can create a very simple IoT application. IoT means simple like that. Data should be stored on the cloud, and from cloud you will be able to access the data. That is a simple meaning of IoT. We have installed our various vision systems and IoT systems in ABB, L&T, Panasonic, Philips. These are the companies with which we are working with. So thank you all. So if there are any doubts, we can carry on with that. If there are any queries or doubts, we can carry on with that.
Thank you so much for your expert lecture, ma'am. I hope no student have any doubt till now. So
Okay.
anyone have any doubt, please write in the chat box on Facebook Live. If anyone have any doubt, please write down in the chat box. Okay, I guess no student have any doubt. So thank you so much, madam, for your valuable time.
Thank you.
On behalf of Parul University, I am thanking you for this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.